Hi, and welcome to part 2 of making magazine layouts using Adobe Indesign. This is Tim Kovar. I'm a lecturer at the Technological University of Dublin, and I do this project with my first year photography students, where we make a magazine of their own work every year. So at the end of episode 2, or episode 1, I was talking about how you have to structure your files, keep everything together so that InDesign can find all that material. And now in part 2, we're going to finish that off and continue on with how to build your pages and make sure everything is going to work together for excellent output. It would never work. All right. So what it does is creates a preview image in the document and links to your original file when you go to output. So I have a job folder here called Kovar Magazine Layout Test. Inside that, I have my InDesign file, which is called Kovar Tim's History.indd, and above that is my image folder. I've got, 10 images, and I'm supposed to name them all properly, and I missed a couple here. And one that I want to use, I misnamed. Forgot to put my own name on the front of it. And it's a shot of my grandfather and my grandmother. So let's drop that in there. And it doesn't display properly. It's way bigger than the box that I have drawn for it. So I can go up to the Object and Fitting menu, and I can fit the content proportionally, and then I can see both my grandmother and my grandfather. But what I want is just my grandfather's face to match my father's face. So I'm going to double click on that, and you get the yellow orangish brown outline. I'm going to grab the corner and holding the shift key so I don't change the aspect ratio, I'm going to increase that scale. So only the part of the image which is showing through the size of the box that I created is visible. Whoa. And I can move that around inside there. And that's a little bit bigger than I want. So what I'm trying to do is echo that size of my dad's head with my grandfather's head. And the other thing I want to do is I need to show his tie, because his tie clasp is made from a fossilized shark's tooth that he found on the beach where he lived in Florida. And I have that shark's tooth necktie. So that's pretty close. So I click on the box below that, and I do my Command D. And let's see where that object is. There you go, that file. 2003245. Okay, so I hit open on that. And again, places it, but it's not the way I want to view. So I go down to Object, Fitting, Fill Frame Proportionally. So now I have a shot of that shark's tooth, and you can see, look, there it is right there in that photograph of him. So now I have this double page spread pairing. I go, that's pretty good. All right, possibly, but I might have to change my mind there. To take away the guidelines, I'll go down here to the bottom left-hand toolbar, and I want to change from a normal view to a preview. And that hides those lines. So then I get a picture of just the page, presentation of just the page. And you can see how I've left a box up at the top left for name, each person's name, and a short project description. And so what I've got is 2 photographs of objects paired with 2 photographs of these gentlemen. All right. So that's a start. That's a start. So I can scroll down to my second double page spread. And now I want to get my guidelines back, so I can go over to the toolbar, or as you can see, preview is also the W key. So as long as you don't have the type tool clicked, you can press the W key and get your guidelines back. Now, I've got another 2 shots prepared here that I want to do, and I'm not sure what size I want. So I'm just going to draw 2 picture boxes. And I'm using the margins just to give me guidelines. I'm not quite sure how I want this to look, but I've drawn from one edge of the margin, the outside to the inside. And let's check. One is 185 by 177.5. The other one's 185 by 179.5. Close. Being rather obsessional, I'll make those the same. Okay. Now, two pictures that I want to put in here. On the left-hand side, pick the first one. And again, I can go up to File, Place. Takes me back to my menu bar, and there it is. Okay. You notice that in my files, I've prepared them all as TIFFs. Consistency is what we want. InDesign doesn't mind if you use JPEGs or PSDs or BMPs or whatever, PDFs, but what we want is the highest and most consistent image quality presentation. So the best thing to do, save them as TIFFs, Adobe RGB color space, and 300 pixels per inch. That is not Moses on the mountain telling us to do that, but it is consistency, which is key. And so this is the way your editor is telling you to do this. All right, so I click my open button, and there's the picture of my son standing on my shoulders. And let's put the next one down. So I click on that box, I do Command D, and let's see where it is. There it is. So I have this tiny little, well, it's about 3 inches by 3 inches size picture. Now it's popped in really large, so I can go up to Object, Fitting, Fit Content Proportionally. We are always keeping things in proportions, okay? So again, what I want to do is get a similar scale. Here I have, God, that must be about 1967, 66, with me standing on my dad's shoulders, and my son 2002, 2003. All right, so let's try and get these figures of a similar size. So I think I want them to be square. I've got a little bit of space around my picture. Okay, so I'm going to enlarge crop of me and my dad. Oops, too much. So what I want to do is show a little bit of the materiality of that shot by keeping the borders of the small snapshot in there, while giving us a similar scale. Okay, so you can see the outlines, the brown lines show that the picture goes beyond the edge of the box that I've drawn for it. A little bit tilted there. So now you can double click on the image to give you those brown lines, or you can also click the white triangle, the direct selection tool, or sorry, direct selection tool. Yay, you got it right. Okay. Holding the shift key down, dragging that, whoops. I drag the box instead of the image. So Command Z takes me back. Click back on that, holding the shift key down, drag it into place. Okay, now, so I've got two squares, one with me, my hands raised, one with my dad. By the way, did I mention save it? As you, every time you make a change that you're happy with, hit save, okay? So we have drawn picture, taking the template that I'm going to supply you, but it's an A4 page, double page spread, drawing picture boxes, adding content to the picture box, adjusting the way that image is displayed inside the box, and trying to find some kind of nice presentation. So believe me, we will do this many, many times to get a look that you're happy with, that we're happy with, and get a good output. That's what we're aiming for. All right. So we'll answer a few questions next time, but hope this has been helpful and that you're not stuck not being able to move forward with this. All right. Good luck. Talk to you soon.